Hello, I'm Richard Vobes, a Bald Explorer, and I'm out on another walk, and this time I'm back in Cowfold. You may have remembered I did a walk fairly recently in Cowfold, and I've returned now to do some local walks. I thought that would be quite interesting. I'm afraid to say I'm on wobbly cam again. I've been having issues with my gimbal, so apologies if this is just a little bit too wobbly for you. I'm going to be sorting those out hopefully in the next few weeks or months when I save up. But I parked the van, Black Maria, here in the car park, which is just off the main thoroughfare in Cowfold, and my walk starts back on the A272. So I'm going to head off to there and let's crack on and have a look at some of the countryside on this autumn day. Right, well, I have taken a stroll up out of the main part of the village on the A272 here, heading westward just a little bit, and hopefully we're going to be a bit quieter and away from all the noise of the traffic, which in our previous video was a feature. Now this is supposed to be lockdown, and I was just talking to a chap called Derek, who is a local and a gardener, and he said, yeah, it's just the same as normal, whereas in the previous lockdown, he said you could hear the birds singing. Oh, I'm going to get knocked down. Let's move on, continue with our walk and see where it takes us. I've just been chatting to a very interesting lady who's walking her dog just now, and I let her go past, and she was curious to what I was doing. And I was saying, you know, autumn is my favourite time, although sometimes it can be a bit boggy, and we've had a bit of rain recently, so it is a little bit boggy. And she was saying, oh, well, normally, you see, in the past, for the last 30 odd years, this pathway that I'm walking here, oh, that's her dogs making the noise in the woods. This fence, or this hedge, has just recently gone up, because in the past people would just cross against the field here, but the owner of the field presumably has had enough of all the copious amounts of dog walkers that have been out during lockdown and depositing their things, because not every dog owner looks after what comes out of their dog, and sadly they've had to put in this stock fencing to prevent people from just being able to wander across the field. I can absolutely understand and appreciate the problem that the landowners have got when dog walkers are not, doing it's bad enough when you're walking yourself and you inadvertently tread in something you don't want to. Not all dog walkers are like that. Many of them, most of them, are very good people. I'm just saying, that's before I get all the comments. Just come into a very delightful little wooded area here. I'll put the map up on the screen so that you can follow if you wish to do this walk. It's actually quite a nice countrified walk. We've got some oak trees here and what looks like I think hazel as well, so it's very beautiful. And then down to my left we're on a sort of bank here, sort of raised bank, and you've got some natural water. I don't think it's actually a stream, but as I head along I should come to a little brook or something in which I'm going to turn westwards. I'm actually heading now northwards. This first part has been a northwards walk. Well, I've just arrived at the little brook, little stream here, with a bridge going across it, and I've noticed on the floor all these crab apples, just hundreds and hundreds of them, scattered all over the floor. Right, let's go across this brook. I'm walking a bit gingerly today because it is quite slippery, and I've got an expensive camera in my hand. So now the walk that I'm doing continues to the, well, it doesn't continue, it branches off to the west, but you can, by the looks of things, continue northwards through another set of woods up there in front of me, which looks very inviting. Plenty of country walks to be explored around here, so I may well have to come back. People often ask me when I'm out in the woods filming, and they say in the comments, what's your favourite tree, Richard? That's very difficult to say, because sometimes it varies because of where I am and the season. So sometimes in a woodland, the favourite tree might be the beech, because it's surrounded by not lesser trees, but under trees, I suppose, of say hazel and things like that. And then there may be this majestic beech tree. But other times, such as like this, when I'm out in the fields, and you get either the single oak or a mass of oaks, and in autumn they take on that majestic look and just give me a sense of, I don't know what, a love, warmth, enjoyment, pleasure. So often the trees do change. Sometimes it's just the shape of one individual tree, the way the branch moves and undulates, looking as it does perhaps for a hole in the canopy. So my love of trees changes depending on where I am and what time of year. Just spotted some sloes, blackthorn, still some berries. Here we are in November. It's about the 10th, I think, I'm filming this, and there's still berries on the bushes here. So I don't know whether that means that because there's been an abundance of them and they're still here, that we're going to have potentially a hard winter. But it's nice to know that the wildlife have got something to look forward to and continue to feast on in these harder times. I've come out past the little brook, and I'm walking along this stretch here, which now goes a little bit along. I'm going to continue going west for a little bit further, and then I will turn and start heading south, cross the A272, and then curve round and come back on myself. Little tricky bit here to get through. I do apologise for all the wobbly filming. Now, just got to go and have a look at the map to see quite where I am, because I think it must be straight on a little bit further. Sometimes it's very easy to misjudge everything, and I've done that many times on my walks. I've misjudged it, got somewhat lost, and had to retrace my steps. We all do it, even the professionals. Just come out to an area where you can oversee a working farm, which is just there behind me. I think, according to the map, that might be Trenchmore. Which, if it is, that's quite handy, because I will be turning left in a minute, south, and heading back down towards the A27, and then, if I can get around these trees, I will cross over and take a loop round the south of the Cowfold area. It's a big old farm. I've just turned southwards, as you may have just seen, on my aim to go backwards, and I've just passed these very inquisitive sheep. I don't know if I can get any closer to them. They've been standing there watching me, and I've been faffing about, but sheep are notoriously skittish. So if I make my very slow way to them. I just wonder if I can get any closer than one normally gets. They look quite tame. Look at them. He's backing off a little bit, that one down there. They don't seem too perturbed. Hello. I correct myself. They are perturbed. The southwards journey has now taken me back to the A272. You can hear it just in front of me. It took me up to a very pleasant looking farm, a couple of farmhouses, a nice one buried in the woodlands behind me here, which was rather delightful. And at first I was a bit concerned that this was actually the A272, although the busyness of it tells me it is, and I'm going to be crossing and heading, continuing south. But behind me, in the far distance, you can just make out the spire and the shape of St. Hugh's, the monastery, which is just to the south of Cowfold. And I won't be going quite that far. I'm going to loop round and get back into the town. But it's nice to get a good view of it from here anyway. Just walking through the field on the other side of the road now. I've crossed it. You can probably hear it behind me. There you go. Some traffic there. I'm slightly dubious about the continuation of this walk, mainly because there is a field of cows. I'm not a great lover of cows, and I try to avoid cow fields, mainly because there's been some deaths in the news fairly recently, and also I know people who have been chased and trampled or knocked by, or certainly frightened by cows. So I'm quite dubious about it now. I am passing, however, a very beautiful farm. I think it's called Capon's Farm. It's the old farmhouse. I think it's one of the oldest here, dates back to the 13th century. I can't really show it to you unless I actually don't go through the field of cows. But the gate, I think, is up ahead, so we may actually avoid it. Okay, I'm through the gate, and there are cows. They're all sitting down, but the path goes right next to them. The field is very big. I mean, it's possible I could walk all the way around the field. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to wimp out. I'm quite nervous of cows. I used to not be too nervous of them, and as I say, too many instances have happened now, and I'm sure they're very nice. So instead, I was thinking I might do this in two parts, this walk, and then present the second half of this walk in a separate video. But I'm going to end this walk, but before we do, I am going to take you and see if I can get a peek at the farmhouse, because it is absolutely very beautiful, and I'm sure it's very nice. And as I came past, I saw, I think, black sheep. I'm not sure if they're black sheep in behind the fence. I'll try and get a shot of it and edit it in. But just behind me, down here, where the path now leads. Now, I know there's going to be a lot of people there, so, you know, they're fine. Well, you come and do it. I'm walking back now into the village. Capon's farmhouse was just behind me. Beautiful old Tudor farmhouse. It's been absolutely magnificent. Dangerous along this road, as you can imagine. I certainly don't advise doing that. But I hope you've enjoyed this video. Don't forget to follow, like and subscribe. Sorry about the traffic again. And if you are in any way inclined, become a patron, support what I do, and I'll get out and show you more of this wonderful country we call England. And after lockdown, I'll be going further afield in my new van. Till next time, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.